The Little Mermaid, Arial, and the Seahorse Race. King Triton, ruler of all the oceans, stormed into the palace courtyard. "Arial!" he bellowed, summoning his daughter. The young mermaid was nearby riding her seahorse. "Stormy." "Uh-oh," or Arial said worriedly. "He sounds angry." She turned Stormy around and they went to the courtyard. King Triton glared at Arial. "How could you sign up for the annual seahorse race?" he demanded. "It's a dangerous competition for mermen. No mermaid has ever competed." Arial raised her chin defiantly. "Mermaids ride seahorses too, Daddy," she said. "And Stormy may be small, but he's fast. I know we could win that race if you'll let us enter." "Absolutely not," King Triton shouted. "But Daddy," Arial pleaded. "No, Arial, I forbid you to enter the race," he said sternly. Arial and Stormy slowly made their way out of the courtyard. The mermaid knew her father would never change his mind. Arial moped around the racecourse all week long. Her best friend Flounder tried to cheer her up. "The race trophy isn't really that great," said Flounder. "I know what'll make you happy. Looking for some snarfblats and dinglehoppers." But for once, Arial didn't want to look for human objects that had fallen into the sea. She only had one thing on her mind: the race. "It just isn't fair," she exclaimed. "I know I can win." "Yes," agreed Flounder, "if only you were a merman. Then your father would let you enter the race." "That's it," cried Arial. "I'll be a merman. Arial the merman. Flounder, you're a genius." Arial zipped around the palace looking for a racing uniform and helmet. As she turned the corner, she swam straight into her father's advisor, Sebastian the Crab. "Teenagers," Sebastian muttered, "always in a hurry." "Sorry," Arial said. "I guess I just had racing on my mind." "You and your father both," the crab said as he adjusted his shell. "He keeps going to the closet to look at his old racing uniform. You know, he was your age when he entered his first competition." Arial was surprised. King Triton had never told her that he used to race. "Thanks, Sebastian," said Arial. Now she knew where to find a racing uniform. On the morning of the competition, Arial went to the starting line with Stormy. She was wearing her father's racing gear and had her hair hidden under her helmet. No one recognized her. King Triton raised his trident. A spark shot out of it, and the seahorses took off. The racers steered them through the water at breakneck speeds. When they reached the coral reef, many of the fast and most powerful seahorses could not fit through. The small openings had to swim around the coral reef, but Stormy was small and Arial was brave, so they swam through the reef. Before long, they had taken the lead. Arial shouted with joy as her seahorse whipped around the next turn, but this time he was too fast. Arial's helmet hit the coral and popped off. Her long red hair streamed out behind her as she headed for the dark cavern. Uh-oh. One racer, Corpa, saw Arial's red hair from behind. "A mermaid?" he cried in disbelief. He raced as quickly as he could, trying to overtake her. It was pitch black in the cavern, but Arial and Stormy knew the way. They had been there many times before to search for treasure. Suddenly, Arial and Stormy heard someone. It was Carpa. He was closing in on them. Stormy swam out of the cavern at record speed. He headed for the last part of the race course. Arial and Stormy swam over and under some seaweed hurdles. Now, all of Atlantia could see them. The crowd gasped as the princess passed by with Carpa right next to her. King Triton rose from the royal box, and a look of utter surprise on his face. "Come on, Stormy," Arial urged. With one last burst of speed, the seahorse raced across the finish line. He and Arial had won. "Hooray!" the crowd roared. Even Carpa clapped. The mermaid had beat him fair and square. Arial smiled and waved. Then she saw her father. "I'm sorry, Daddy," she began. "No, Arial. I'm sorry, he interrupted. I'd forgotten how much fun racing is. I was just worried about you. Can you ever forgive me? Arial nodded and kissed his cheek. Then King Triton proudly handed his daughter the trophy. Everyone cheered, but the king was the most enthusiastic of all. The end.